this tours meetings.
No.
Okay.
So we could go in a couple different, and we only have 30 minutes.
Okay.
Well, 25 minutes. So we could stick to the spaces that'll be familiar for you.
Okay.
Yeah, they got a good chat.
What a beautiful idea.
Is there someone who'd like to go first?
All right. Well, let's start off. What was Falk like when you were here?
I think it was, as I've been walking through today, the same and different. I mean, some of these new facilities are incredible. The idea that you can, kind of hang out outside and overlook this beautiful campus, it's pretty amazing. Some of the spaces are exactly the same. I saw one of my classrooms with a teacher who I've been talking about. Everyone's probably sick of me bringing him up because I brought it up so many times. Dr. Martin was my teacher when I was here, and this was in the 1980s, so just like a year or two ago. And that classroom, it all came back. I think the constant wonder is something that, again, I don't think I knew that I was gaining that when I was here, but it is so important in my life and career, not just in journalism, but my wife and I we love, we're both so curious whether we are like meeting someone in her village of 2,300 people in Northwest Ohio, or if we're in the former Soviet Republic of Georgia. We're just constantly curious and eager to build relationships and have a sense of wonder about the world.
On a different podcast, not one of yours, but on a different podcast, I heard something once that has stayed with me and stuck with me. It's sort of something sticky in my head that I think about all the time. And it was the words, I can't remember who said it, but the words were, the antidote to judgment is curiosity. And that's something I think about deeply. Can you speak to what that might mean in relation to the work that you do?
It's as if we planned this. And we really didn't, because I love that phrase, and it actually is very central in my work today. I don't have to tell all of you this. I think we live in a world where there can be too much judgment. When someone says something maybe about politics or something else, you might immediately have a judgment about that person. Oh, I can't sit down for dinner with this person. I can't sit with this family member because I disagree with them about this big thing. And in the world of politics today, I think this is so sad and problematic. I was in Lancaster, where I went to high school a few days ago, and I was having some dinner sitting at a bar, and I met two people, two women who've been friends for years, and I happened to tell them that I have this podcast show, Left, Right, and Center, which is all about showing that you can come together in one space and get along and actually have conversations with each other, even if you disagree about stuff. And the whole energy of my show is curiosity. Maybe someone says something or does something that is so terrible and offensive or immoral or bad. I'm not saying that we should always like someone no matter what they do. They can do, there can be someone who does some pretty bad stuff. But as a general rule, to bring curiosity into any conversation or experience you're in, you're going to be better, the relationship is going to be better, and the world is going to be better. And so these two women, I told them I have this show, and they said, will you help me? And I just said, why don't you ask her a few questions? And they started asking each other questions. And I was like, you know what you sound like right now? You sound like two friends who were curious about each other. And, they started asking why questions, not like, I can't believe you believe that, or I can't believe you're voting for this guy. It was more like, so why do you believe that? And why is that so important to you? And as soon as you start treating someone with respect and being curious about their life and why they arrive at a certain place, it's like the world opens up and relationships can be meaningful again.